And this is on the news. True, this actually happened. The most stupid thing I've ever heard. Some people, I think in Texas, they sued the police department because on television the police say if you have an emergency, dial 911. These people had an emergency. They claimed they couldn't dial 911. You know why? They couldn't find 11 on the phone dial. Are these the same people who want to take one-a-day vitamins, but they can't figure out the dosage? Is it the same people? Here's something that happens every day. You get out of the shower, start to blow dry your hair, but after just a few seconds, you turn off the hair dryer because it produces some kind of a noise which makes you think you heard the phone ring. The hell is that? What is that? No one knows. No one knows. We just ask these questions. We can't answer them, of course. Here's something that's bothered me all my life. You know those 4 little knobs at the base of your toilet? There's 2 in back, 2 in front. The hell are those things, and how come they're always loose? And why is that brown stuff always on them, and how did it get down there? You know what I hate? Those simplistic quizzes they have in those romantic magazines. You depend exclusively upon your mate for your happiness? Well, no, she lets me do it with her sister, too. I lived over on Sunset Strip for a while in Hollywood. Big hooker area. One night, no lie, I'm driving around. I saw on one street corner 18 prostitutes. I couldn't believe it. I called pimp control. Well, they checked. Sure enough, it was a computer foul-up. So, are you guys like this with me, with women? If I'm in the doghouse, I'll be such a worm. I'll say anything to get out of the doghouse. Gee, honey, you know, this is silly. I don't even remember what we were fighting about. You pushed my parents off the Empire State Building. Yeah, I forgot all about that. Your mother really sailed, as I recall. I was talking with this friend of mine. You know how friends, you like them and everything, you feel comfortable with them, but sometimes they get too personal. And he says, listen, have you ever done it with 2 women? I said, no, not even separately. So then, he said, I got somebody I want you to meet. I said, is she attractive? He said, well, she's very nice. Yeah, we know what that means. Babe the Blue Ox is in town. He said, no, she's very nice. Her name is Mandy. I said, oh, yeah, Mandy. She came and she gave without taking. I said, that's the one. So I go over there. And ladies, I'm not a male chauvinist, but boy, it was a double whammy because she was real obnoxious and had the widest mouth I've ever seen. She said, well, what are we going to do tonight? I said, I don't know. Why don't we go bob for watermelons? I think she was from the PLO. I'm pretty sure. That stands for probably lesbian. Oh! Well, she seemed a little masculine. We bought some potato chips, and she tore them open with her teeth, which I think is a little bit... and they were Pringles, so I was pretty sure that something was... And she was one of these people, I shouldn't put it on the ladies because men do it all the time too. She kept bragging about how young she looks. She's about 35. She says, yeah, sometimes I even get asked for ID. Do you think I look underage? I said, well, maybe for Social Security, but... You know the woman I always wanted to meet? Sybil. Multiple personalities. Which I think is good. It kind of evens out. Makes up for some of the people who have none. 16, 17 different personalities. I always wanted to meet Sybil so I could say to her, who the hell do you think you are? That's all right. Don't worry about that. Don't do that. I'll give me something to live up to. I don't want to... Well, one more blind date. So this woman was a knockout. Boy, she's really attractive. And, you always hear those horror stories. I didn't think she was especially interesting because all that textbook talk and those kind of conversations you have about wants and needs and goals. She says, tell me a couple of your goals. I say, well, I'm going to have sex with you and then leave. I didn't say that. I thought that. I didn't say that. I wanted it, but I didn't say it. We stayed home. We watched an old Elvis Presley movie, and as we watched, of course, we took a whole bunch of different kinds of drugs. I know Elvis would have wanted it that way. Let's talk about drugs. Let's talk about marijuana. You ever get real high and go to the supermarket and wish Campbell's soups were in alphabetical order? You ever stay home and smoke a lot of dope and then you order out for your food and you're real high, so when they bring the food and pound on your door, it scares the hell out of you? Pizza man becomes Gestapo knock. Used to have this friend named Joe. Everybody knows someone like this. Well, what have you been up to today, Joe? And it's always the same thing. Well, I got up today, I took some speed, and I kind of wired up, so then I smoked some grass, and I mellowed out, and a while ago I took a red, went to sleep for a while, woke up a few minutes ago, and now I'm drinking some beer, scotch, and wine. I said, boy, there just aren't enough hours in the day, are there, Joe? I finally had to give him a lecture. I said, Joe, drugs are not the answer. Life is the answer. Take a look around. You got to stop and snort the roses. I went to California. I didn't know anything about that goofy drug terminology. I said to somebody, I said, where'd you go on your vacation? He said, up my nose. I said, damn, who was your travel agent? Because, what is this? We're always hearing about somebody had an overdose of PCP, an overdose? Does this mean there's a right amount we should be taking? There's a lot of that odd terminology. Have you noticed on television all these people who have occasional irregularity? Isn't that redundant? Can you be irregular all the time? Somebody on a discussion program mentioned incest in the family. Where else are you going to have it? Yeah, I tried having incest with my next door neighbor, but I couldn't do it. I don't know what was wrong. They got that odd terminology in the help wanted section in the newspaper. We're looking for a self-starter. What the hell is that? Somebody walking around with a key in his ass? I don't know. I don't know the answer to these questions. We're talking about PCP. Two guys got picked up. They had in their possession 100 pounds of angel dust, which is a real dangerous hallucinogenic drug. But actually what it is an animal tranquilizer. So I guess if your cow gets high on speed, you give him some angel dust and bring him back down. I don't know. Be neat, huh? Cow on speed. I'm a grown man. I'm going moo, 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 moo. I don't know. I was thinking I was drinking too much at one time. I didn't have any money for help, so I went to budget psychiatrist, $3 a visit. Oh, you get what you pay for? I'm threatening suicide. He's saying you gotta do what you gotta do. It's hard to have confidence in your psychiatrist when you tell him about an incident in your life and he responds with, no shit. I can't get a bargain. I always get what I pay for. How about some discount insect killer? What a weak product. Had to catch the bugs by hand and then dip them in the stuff. Have you seen that product off? You spray it on yourself and it keeps the insects off. There's a new product.